Hey, welcome to Coach's Corner Wynford. I am one of the co-hosts, Shane Grove,
and I am Shane Luholt.
And with us tonight is the volleyball team from Wynford. Coach Nickler, would you like to say hi to everybody out there?
Yes, I am Coach Nickler. I'm happy to be here, and this is my first year coaching, so let's go.
Would you like to introduce all the players that came with you?
Yes, this is Kenna, one of our seniors. We have Maddie, she's a senior as well, and then we have Zoe, my tap-in over here.
Zoe's hiding in the back.
Senior as well.
Hiding in the back. Well, we're really appreciative that you guys made the trip up here and that you dressed in the royal blue. That looks nice. Coach,
I wore the royal blue.
Coach Ludo.
No mystery that Grover and I are Wynford alumni, so it's a privilege to be able to talk to the student athletes and coaches from Wynford, since if you cut us, we still bleed blue and gray. So Coach Nickler, this is your first year as a varsity coach. Coming into the season, since you'd never been a head coach, what were your expectations?
My expectations as a head coach and for these girls is just to come in strong. We can always be improving, and I'm not a coach that's just going to come in and coach the game of volleyball. I'm going to coach the game of life for these young ladies, because after volleyball, after school, that's what they have ahead of them is life, and I'm trying to coach them and teach them lessons for their whole life, and be able to look back at volleyball and say, oh, I remember my coach saying that, or I remember her saying that I should be prepared for this in life.
And you bring a wealth of knowledge of the sport of volleyball from your playing days. Where did you play at?
Yes, I went to Tiffin University right after Crawford. I graduated at Colonel Crawford in 2004. And then I went to Tiffin University and I played there, and I enjoyed the game, and it was a great experience to be able to go to college as an athlete, because I felt that was a great balance for me.
And from looking at the headlines, it appears the Lady Royals are off to a good start. I think the last I checked, you were 5-2. Is that correct?
Yes, we are 5-2,
and
coming in strong.
We have some really big matches coming up with Carey.
Yes.
And Mohawk.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right. So one of the burning questions, and my daughter played for the Royals. She was a 3-year varsity letter winner in volleyball. And the one thing that we have struggled with as a program is, how do we get over the hump to beat Buckeye Central and Mohawk on a consistent basis? What are your plans?
Well, my plan is not just Buckeye and not just Mohawk. I mean, we go into each game. I mean, each team is competitive in their own way. So we go into each game that just showing up. I tell the girls all the time, show up. You ladies are such strong athletes. Be a team, work together, and walk away from the court knowing that you gave it your all, because you never can get that back. So that's the mentality that we go into every game, just to be a team and know that we left our heart out on that court.
So Coach Ludoholt here said we still bleed blue and gray, okay, if you cut us. You're a Crawford alumni, okay? Is there a part of you that when you face Crawford the first time this year, are you going to, is it going to take you back? Are you going to waver in your commitment to pound Colonel Crawford? Or is that just driving you that much more that you want to?
I went to Colonel Crawford. I do have a place, in my heart for Crawford. But as my mentality, am I wanting to go there and just drive them to the, no, not at all. Like, Crawford is a great school. They're a great competition. Do I want my girls to show up? Do I want to walk away with a win? Absolutely. Do I love stepping in the school and stepping into that gym? Yeah, last year as the JV coach, I went into the gym for the first time in years, and I walked up to the Eagle's Nest where we used to change before every game, and it felt good because, looking back with school, it wasn't about, walking through the halls for me. It was about the sports. It was about the athlete, how hard I worked, the effort I put in. And that's what it reminds me of when I walk into that gym. Not I really want to, beat this team, badly because, I graduate from there. No, it's, I know what they gave me. I'm who I am today because I went there, and I just want my Wynford girls to show up and get the win and walk away with their heads held high.
If you had to pick out a strength of your team, some teams it is that they're great hitting, some it's serving, some is they just play great defense. What is the strength of the Lady Royals this year?
Our strength of our Lady Royals, I would say our team effort. 110% effort. We can get down and we can make a mistake on that court, but guess what? We're going to shake that off and we're going to move forward. And that's what it takes as a team. There's not one girl that I would say that sticks out because there's 6 girls on that court. We need every single girl to show up. We also have a great bench that cheers our team on throughout the game. And when I call on them to get on the floor, they show up as well. So it starts with a pass, set, and a kill. So it takes us all.
So I know you're really focused on the season at hand. What are your plans summer-wise for the youth programs and things like that to try to get Wynford to the top of the league each and every year?
So we are this is my first year, so I'm trying to figure out as I go, what should I be doing to grow this program? What are the things that are going to grow this program? I know 5th and 6th grade started practice a couple weeks ago on Wednesday nights. We actually took our varsity players into that gym with those 5th and 6th grade girls, and they did practice with those girls and showed them how to talk, showed them how to hold their platform and move to the ball. And I feel like when you involve the varsity players, high school players with the young athletes, it makes the young athletes excited to play the game moving forward. My goal is to have positive, encouraging coaches just like I am, because in order to have girls continue showing up to want to play the game, they have to have fun. We can condition and we can work hard and practice, but if you're not having fun playing, then you're not going to have the girls stick with it. So we've done a lot of fun things this summer already as the varsity team, and we had camp too that we had a lot of young girls come to.
Awesome.
Yeah, that point to getting the varsity players down with the young kids is 100% super, because then the young kids want to come to the games and they want to become the varsity players that
you aspire to be like the
absolutely.
athletes as you came down and
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
I remember being a young athlete and looking at those girls out on the court and thinking, wow, like I want to be them one day. And I feel like the varsity girls, the high school girls, have a big role, and they know their role. I mean, they know that these young girls look up to them, and they do what worked so well with them as well.
It's incredible. I keep looking at Kenna, and I get now. Ken, I got to ask this question. So Chloe or Zoe's not on the Chloe. Yeah. So Kenna, I got to know if you and Zoe this summer worked harder on your serving or the dance that you do after you get an ace.
Oh, definitely the dance.
That's what I think. We won't ask you to get up and try it because I've seen you guys dance before. And it's not pretty. But
That's so mean.
but I appreciate that you were at least honest. I appreciate your honesty.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the difference this year as a senior versus when you're an underclassman?
I feel like I have a much bigger role this year. Like, I have a lot of freshmen asking me for advice or, like, what am I doing wrong? And I feel like a lot of the underclassmen, like, know that they can come to me and talk to me, too, so.
There's a reason why they call it senior leadership.
Exactly. And what spot do you play on the team? Like, what's your specialty?
I'm a middle and a DS.
A defensive specialist. That's what DS means.
I know exactly what it
In
means.
case you didn't know. All right. I don't know. How do you feel that the season's going for you, and what position do you play on the team?
I'm an outside hitter and a DS.
A lot of defensive specialists.
Does that mean you're playing all the way around?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
So you actually know something about volleyball.
Yeah. Well, that's why you're here.
I sat through a lot of volleyball. So let me ask you this, and this is a question then for Zoe too. The trend now in high school volleyball, back in the 80s when we were going to high school, there was really very little club volleyball. You didn't need to play club volleyball to be a varsity athlete. Do you guys play club volleyball?
I do, yes.
All right. Do you feel like if you didn't play club volleyball, you would be way behind?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't think so necessarily for me. Like my freshman year, I tore my ACL and I lost my club season. And then after I didn't go back, and I feel like I'm just as good as I would have been if I did club. So
So you want to give a shout
I
out
would
to your
agree.
club?
Oh, Flatlands.
How about you, Zoe?
Zoe does not do club volleyball.
Does not do club volleyball. You don't do club anything? Chess club? Anything? Okay. All right.
Math club?
So Kenna, I want to ask you this: as a senior, can you believe that you're a senior already? I mean, how fast has this time gone?
it's honestly gone so fast. Like we put our senior banners up the other day, and I was like, "There's no way that's actually me up there."
How about you, man?
Oh, I think it's so sad.
You think it's so sad that Ken is a senior, or that you're
that I am a senior.
that you think it's
Yes.
sad?
Yes.
I mean, so it really means something then every time
Oh.
you guys step out there on the court. Now, because we're all, we're way older than Coach Nickler. Do you guys ever challenge Coach Nickler
Oh.
is to see if she's really as good as what you've heard?
She likes to hit towards us, like play against us.
Oh, so she's still
And
got.
she gets in on the drills.
She's still got her skills.
Oh,
she's
okay.
very
I mean,
competitive.
she walked in
Very
here and I thought, man, where's Coach Nickler? There's like 4 high school girls in here walking. Like you still look like you could play.
She was warming up in the parking lot.
in the parking
Yeah.
lot,
there we
She
go,
thought we
yeah.
might have to scrimmage right here.
spiking it at people walking down Rensselaer Street.
Yep. Well, the one thing I would point out, and I give this speech to all high school athletes, is that, someday you're going to wake up and you're going to be 35 years old and a mom and working a job, and you're going to say, my gosh, I miss those days of being able to go to practice and hang out with my teammates in the locker room. And Grover and I were blessed that we played in what I would consider the golden era of Wynford basketball and got to play for a state championship and things like that. And the things that we remember about that season aren't even necessarily the games. It was the camaraderie that we had with our teammates in the locker rooms after practice, the things that we did. And so enjoy this because it's so fleeting. And next thing you know, you're going to wake up one day and it's going to be gone. So enjoy every practice, every repetition, every game that you can.
Yeah.
And then come back and support the Royals.
I'm just trying to figure out which one of you guys will be the coach in junior high next year.
We have some plans.
You have some plans? Okay. All right. Listen, I know if Kenna is going to be coaching, I want to go and heckle her from the stands.
I would be a fun coach.
Yes, you would. Yeah, I have no doubt that you would be a fun coach.
So Ken, what's your plans after high school?
I'm thinking about graphic arts right now. My uncle he did a lot of online work with graphic arts, and I've always liked art and designing, so seems like it would be
Cool.
fun.
Mandy, what about you?
I think I want to be an elementary school teacher and coach volleyball. That's my dream.
Oh,
Is
nice.
to coach. So.
Nice.
Is this your job interview for?
Maybe.
We don't need an interview.
How about you, Zoe, from the
From the luxurious chair behind us.
I am very undecided.
very Zoe Whitmire is very undecided. I'm sure that'll make her parents very happy that she's undecided. So tomorrow, Carrie,
Yes.
think the team is focused, ready to go?
Yeah, we do status reports on the team beforehand. We sit down as a team and we watch film to prepare as best as we can. We work hard at practice, and like I said, we just have to go and show up. We're ready to compete and see what happens. Yeah.
Are you excited, Kenna, about?
Of course, I'm excited.
I like that answer.
So goals for the year. Everything's still, a league championship is still available, right? We still got to
Yeah,
play.
yeah,
I mean, we still got to play Mohawk, who's undefeated. So all the goals are on the table, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel that going into this, the team goal was to get fourth in our conference. We only have one returning starter from last year. And I feel like that's a young athletic team coming in. Most of these girls I coached at a JV level last year. So with only one returning starter, I feel like one returning starter and first year head coach, we had a lot of people doubting us. And that's okay because we didn't take it to heart. We have already, I feel like, proved ourselves and came out strong this year, and we're going to continue to fight.
So you obviously, being a first-year coach, have to have some quality coaches with you in the gym.
Yes.
That are, providing you some support.
Yes.
You want to give a shout out to your assistant and your JV coaches?
Yes. So my assistant coach is Alex Sipes. He is from Crestline. He plays rec volleyball all the time. His knowledge of the game is incredible. And he plays against the girls, and he doesn't take it easy on them. He makes them work just like I would. And we vibe very well together. We get each other, and that's great to have an assistant coach like that. Adrienne Woodmeyer, she is a returning coach from last year. She was the freshman coach, and she's now our JV coach. She does great with the girls, and I think it's important in the gym when the girls respect the coach, and she is respected in the gym. And then our freshman coach is Tracy Frombaugh. I mean, she is a seasoned coach, and if there's any question I ever have that needs a correct answer, that's who I go to. Tracy's very knowledgeable, and she really cares about the program. She gives 110% effort for the girls and for the program, and I couldn't ask for a better coaching staff.
And that's the key, especially for a first-year varsity coach, to have that support system in there and people that you can lean on and go ask to get the right answer. And I'm sure Tracy will appreciate that you admitted she's always right. So.
Yes.
I mean, you have a lot of girls in the gym at one time, and to try to take one player aside, work on a technique or something, if you don't have good assistant coaches, none of that works.
Right. So we actually, we split up in position training, which really helps. I'll take the DS girls, Alec takes the setters because he's a setter, Adrienne takes the hitters, and then Tracy kind of floats around and helps wherever she is needed. So we can actually work in smaller groups in practice and really try to get that one-on-one time to help the girls with the position of how to hit or where to go in the court. So it's great to have coaches be able to split up and have knowledge of the game.
Volleyball is one of them sports that everybody thinks they know how to play it, but very few people really know how to play it.
Yeah.
I still haven't figured out the substitution rules yet, and I sat through hundreds of games. But
Yeah, that's all right.
But volleyball is such a skill sport of serve, receive, and things like that. And even so, after watching hundreds of games, I still don't understand why they called it a push and things like that. So
I think a lot of times the referees don't know it.
So let me ask you this: going forward, basketball is a different type of sport because I can, I can by myself. I can go out in the driveway or go to the park or go to the gym by myself, and I can work individual skills. Volleyball would be very difficult to do that.
Yeah.
So what do you do? I mean, what is the plans in the summer for girls' development and things like that? Because it's not like basketball.
Right. So volleyball is very mental. You have to know where to go on the court. There are 6 players on the court, and everybody has a spot to go to. And the conditioning's way different. This summer, I was talking to Ken, and Ken was like, I'm not in volleyball conditioned. I'm not conditioned for volleyball yet. I'm still conditioned for basketball. And it's totally different sport, It's a different atmosphere. It's different conditioning. It's different mentally. So my goal is for volleyball is to have open gyms and have availability to the girls to come in and work on the game. Like myself and my coaching staff, we are here to help the girls in any way that we can, if that's staying after practice, or if that's coming into the gym early, or having extra open gyms during the summer so they can improve as a student athlete.
What's the one thing before the end of the season you want to see this team get better at?
Ooh.
Or what the three things? I mean,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean,
That
what's
one
the
thing that I want to see this team get better at? I mean, they have improved so much tremendously as a student athlete and as individual athletes and individual girls. Like, they have grown so much. One thing that I did start this year is meditation. So sometimes during the week, I'll say, all right, girls, it's time for meditation. We will find a spot in the gym, turn all the lights down, turn the meditation on the speaker for 10 minutes, and lay and meditate. Last time we did it, we had 4 girls crying afterwards. These student athletes are pushed so much, not just as an athlete, but in school, you know, with maybe work now because they're in high school. They are pushed so much in life that sometimes they have to remind themselves to slow down and just mentally just, you know, calm their mind and just really
put the phone
yes.
away. I mean, I noticed Kenna was a little more zen as she walked in here. But that is great right there, because it refocuses, you know, the girls. And as athletes, you have to be, you can't just walk in the gym and just your athletic ability is going to take over.
Right.
Not around here, you know. You have to be focused and know what you're going to do. And maybe it relieves some of that, like you said, that pressure they feel.
Yeah.
I'm a big believer in getting your chi straight.
Yeah.
For
Well,
real,
it's
for
not,
real.
and that's it's nothing. It's nothing out of the ordinary. It is simple. Whatever they need to release and let go, they have the opportunity to do that. And I'm trying to give them the opportunity. We actually had a athlete get hurt at the beginning of season at a scrimmage. She has gone through a tough time. She's had surgery, and I had a parent thank me for introducing the meditation to her, because she is laid up right now, and that's what she has to lean on. She doesn't have the court to fall back on. She doesn't have the you know, the team every single day to go to. So she's at home, and that's how she's dealing with it. And I'm so thankful that I was able to introduce that to her to get her through this.
No, I commend you for that. That's a unique way of looking at a problem and finding a great way to solve it, you know. And I think these guys will be better for that, because it is, you know, we've been parents of teenagers and all girls, and I still have one who's a junior, and it is tough on girls. I mean, I'm just gonna say that it's tough on girls. They have a hard road to go, and being able to find something like that to kind of center themselves is awesome. I commend you on that. That's great.
Thank you.
Anything else?
I'm just excited to get out and have an opportunity to watch them play. We've been doing a podcast about every night, and we haven't really had a chance to get out to see you guys play, but get out and watch the football game. So excited to see the Lady Royals.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and the atmosphere is different this year, and it's exciting. And you know, the girls are passionate. I am very passionate about the season, and we're going to keep working hard.
Yeah, I will go to the Colonel Crawford game and demand you guys beat them. No, I don't want to start anything Colonel Crawford people back. I'm just saying. But
Well, that's the fun thing about rivalries.
Yeah.
That is the fun thing about
Yes.
rivalries. And, you know, okay, we're going to go play New London. Well, okay, I don't know anybody from New London. I don't, you know. But playing a county school who you know, and you see these people, and sometimes you're friends with them, that ups the ante on every game. And that's really what sport's about, is to challenge yourself, have fun, compete, and then learn life lessons from it.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah, even in film, I love the conversations the girls have in film when we're watching film, because I don't know much about, you know, our you know, the teams that were going into play, but these girls have been playing against them for what, 4-6 years, you know? So they know a lot about these teams that we're going and playing against. So film's fun to watch.
Or they
Have a
might
lot
even
to
be a
say.
teammate in
Well,
club.
how many times has Kenna said, that girl tried to talk to my boyfriend?
We
I
have
just
not
wondered.
gotten that
We've
one.
not got that far? Okay, all right, I just wondered. I figured that might come up. What are you laughing about? How many, have you said that? In front
No,
of
I
them?
have not.
Okay, I'm just checking. I'm not even gonna ask Zoe or Chloe, whoever's back there.
Zoe.
All right, game time.
Oh,
Ready for some games?
sure.
I'm nervous.
Game on.
I don't know if I can read the screen from here. That's a long way away.
Wow, that
Coach,
is
say stop when you want to stop.
stop.
Oh god.
Oh, was that loud? I'm sorry.
Oh, jeez.
Who is your biggest
Who is
rival,
yeah.
and why do you want to beat them so badly?
Wait, who
Really?
Yeah, you picked it.
Okay.
I don't like that one.
So who is our biggest rival?
Like as a team, or are we doing this individually?
No.
Do we all
This-
I think
answer
this is
this?
my this is my
I,
this is my answer.
I think this
because
goes
said
back
stop.
to the whoever's talking to your boy, trying to talk to your boy.
Yeah, sure.
My biggest rival. I know in school, when I was in school, it's always Crawford and Bucyrus and Wynford. You know, those were the rival games that we went to. So, looking back when I was a student athlete, I would say for Wynford it would be Colonel Crawford and Bucyrus. Those are the rival games that we really, really want to secure the win and really make it happen for us.
Do you want to answer that, Ken?
No, I'm good.
No. Okay.
Just say stop and I'll get you a new one.
Stop.
Number 7.
Which teammate wears the most gear at practice and games? Is that what that says?
Yeah.
Rodney Novel. Oh, wrong sport.
Wrong era,
Wrong.
wrong sport.
Definitely Hattie, our libero. She is always on the ground. She has bruises all over her hips all the time, her elbows. She wears.
So
Arm
she's like all
sleeve.
padded up?
Yes.
Is she all padded up then outside of practice? Like just in the
No.
hallway in case she gets run into the lockers or anything? No?
I don't think so. Like she was putting like tape and like rings on her hips.
So for anybody who thinks volleyball's non-contact,
Oh yeah.
it's
No.
okay. All right. Go, Maddie, go.
Stop. Wait.
7, we've already had.
Okay.
Yeah, we already had that one.
So we'll roll some more.
Stop.
8.
Where is the coolest
Place
place
you've ever visited and what made it so awesome.
Oh.
other than
gosh.
here?
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right.
I don't know.
Then you can say here.
Oh,
All right.
okay, here.
No,
No.
what you just did this summer?
Oh, I went whitewater rafting.
Well, that sounds way better than here. What?
In West Virginia.
In West Virginia?
Yeah, it was like a little family thing.
A little family thing.
Yeah.
Wait, like, what exciting happened?
Um,
Did you get thrown out? Did you
Yeah. I was with my 9-year-old sister, and it was called The Surprise. And so I didn't really know. So then I thought, oh, we went down, what's it called? As the water goes?
Rapids.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no, there's like a pocket.
Yeah, that's called something.
Oh, jeez. I
It's
don't
called
know.
something. Well, we went down, and I like survived the first one. And then I'm like, okay, like I survived this surprise. Oh no, I nosedived into it. We flipped. I lost my sister. It was crazy.
That doesn't sound like you fun.
So, as a volleyball coach, do you enjoy hearing that your players are
Yes.
going away?
She encouraged me to go.
Plus in the
You
rocks.
encouraged that?
She,
Yeah.
yes.
You were trying to get rid of her before the season started, or
No,
what?
I encourage that. Zoe and Kenna went on vacation this summer. Like, I encourage my student athletes to go out and enjoy
Live life.
family. Yeah, and go on vacations. Like, we have summer stuff, but it's not mandatory. Like, I'm very lenient on family stuff, family time.
And that's awesome too.
Yeah.
It's awesome too because sports is so important, important and gets takes a lot of time. It is important for kids to go and realize they're still kids and
Right.
have some fun. Are we gonna do one more for Zoe?
You guys want to do some more? Yeah.
Yeah, let's get Zoe. Yeah, tap in.
Oh, we don't have to.
Okay.
Tell them when to stop.
Tell them when to stop, Zoe.
Stop.
Number 4.
Which teammate will spend the most time on the dance floor at homecoming? That's hard.
So which teammate will spend the most time on the dance floor at homecoming?
I mean, it's gotta be Riley.
Oh, Riley, breaking it down.
So who's she going to homecoming with? Any of these guys that just walked in? Do they have any? All right, I didn't know if they were like, oh my God, I got to dance. I didn't know that. Do you want to do a number?
No, I do not.
Okay, I just checking. I'm just checking. All right, we'll take a break here with the Wynford volleyball team.
All right. Thank you for having us tonight. We appreciate it.
It was our pleasure.
Go Royals.
Go Royals.
Beat Curl Cross. Oh, sorry.
He's got one man to beat. Schieffer with the ball in his left hand. He's going to take it to the house. Wynford opens up the second half with the kick return touchdown.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH.Report.
and suddenly the room got a lot more serious because the Wynford football team has joined us. Now, before we get started, you guys unfortunately have to eat a jelly bean and try not to get sick. Cheers. Okay.
What kind of sick joke is this?
I don't know. Coach Skidmore's not enjoying his jelly bean.
I don't know what that is.
Don't know. Is that the mouse? Is that the mouse flavored one or?
Oh, dude,
Okay.
that's great.
The grape. Any guesses as to what you?
No idea what that is. Is yours good?
Booger.
Booger.
It's the green
So,
one.
are you saying that's what your boogers taste like?
No, it's the
okay.
green
I'm just
one. I know
checking.
it's booger.
Just
That's disgusting.
That's some sort of rotten cheese. All right.
a rotten cheese.
All right.
Oh, smokes.
Enough of this silliness. Let's get down to brass tacks. So we have Coach Skidmore with us, head football coach of the Wynford Royals. Season started out with a really tough game with Galion. Statistically, had more yards than them. Some special plays didn't go our way, and ended up the short end of that. Then you beat Pleasant, really good team, and then we have a tough one with Western Reserve. Kind of don't get a good start, get down. They scored 28 points in the first half. We come roaring back, score 20 points, get the ball to their 15-yard line, come up a little bit short. But Coach, tell us about the difficulty of our non-league schedule.
Yeah, I mean, our non-league, man, we pick some teams that are pretty tough. You know, they got a rich history of being pretty solid. You know, I'm looking at Galion. I mean, they've done a lot of things in the past when it comes to football. I think Marion Pleasant speaks for itself. I mean, they've
State
won
championship.
State championships, you know, and then Coach Stevenson at Western Reserve, he's doing a good job, getting that program in the right direction. So 3 games it's a solid non-league.
So right now, the 3 teams that you played, minus the loss that Pleasant had to us, haven't lost a game.
Yeah, Galion's 3-0. Western Reserve's 3-0, and they're going to win a lot of games this year. You know, and Pleasant's going to be good in the MOAC. You know, they're going to do some good things also.
So playing that really tough non-league schedule, do you think it gets you ready for the league?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I think it makes our players better in the long run. We playing that good competition, each of those weeks. Maybe the only negative is sometimes you get beat up a little bit, and get guys bruised up and we get nicked up, and some guys can't play, some of those games. But in the long run, I think it truly gets our team ready for the Northern 10.
But you're setting the bar with a level of expectations that these guys and everybody coming up behind them are going to know that you're not going to drive 2 hours away to play some team that, you're going to stay here and play the best teams in the area to get ready. Whether, the goal is to go 3-0 through those 3 games going forward, because that's a lot of points.
Yeah, I mean,
for playoffs.
The goal is, to go 3-0 in the non-league, but we set the expectations high. We set the standard high, and we want our kids to get better. I don't want them just showing up and playing some team that.
There's no cupcakes.
No, we don't want that. That's not what Wynford's about. We want to play great competition. And sometimes it doesn't always go your way when you play good competition, but it's what's best for the kids.
So Galion is a touchdown away. Western's a touchdown away. Royals could very easily be 3-0 right now with just a brutal schedule. And the schedule doesn't get any easier because this Friday you take on the Cary Blue Devils, who 2 years ago won a state championship. Last year won the league. And like Wynford, they don't go play any cupcakes. They lost to a really good Hopewell Loudon team. They lost to Galion in a close game. And then they traveled to Lyman Central Catholic, who's got a very good program, and beat them. So it's tough when you go 3 brutal non-league games and then you got to go take on the league champs.
Yeah, I think we start out with one of the better teams in the N10. It is what it is. The first 4 weeks, that's how it lined up, man. We got to show up ready to play Friday, and Cary's going to give us everything we want. We want to have a good game. We want them to compete. We want a solid game with Cary.
So So Kyle, you were an all-state football player for Wynford. Went to Findlay, was a 4-year starter for the Oilers. What can you take away from that to help the kids that you got now? Because we got some athletes out here. We may not have as many athletes as some other schools, but what experiences can you share with these kids to get them ready?
Playing at the college level, it was a different beast. The expectations, it's out of the roof, man. I mean, Coach Keys, Rob Keys, he's coaching at Ohio State now. The way he treated practice, the way he acted on a daily basis, there was no messing around. There was no downtime. It was football, football, football. Number one thing I learned a lot about football being there. I learned a lot about discipline, how to set goals and how to achieve goals. Coming in to the University of Findlay, we were kind of an average team, and I thought the way how Coach Keys treated practice and how he treated the program, and he just turned it around. I think when you play Findlay, we're a tough team, and so I learned a lot from that program.
So how do you take? Okay, so when you go to Findlay, okay, you're going because you want to play at the next level. They're paying for your school, okay, and you come back to high school kids who necessarily might not have the same focus as people playing at the next level. How do you walk that tightrope of getting these guys to get focused when it may not be the most important thing to them all the time?
Yeah, I get that. A lot of high school kids got a lot of stuff going on in their life. And obviously football meant a lot to me. And it was an everyday thing for me. I loved it, cared a lot about it, and that's probably why I played at the next level. Sometimes I do find it a challenge to, get those same expectations, from these kids and get the same kind of goals from these kids. But I mean, right now where the program's at, we got a lot of kids that want to do things right, and do things in a different way, than it has been done in the past. And we had an awesome off season, in the weight room, and how we challenged these kids and how they got after it. I thought our off season was special, and I treated it the same way they would have treated it at Findlay. I'm hard on the kids, and the kids know that, and sometimes it's tough love a little bit.
I've had the privilege of coming out, talking with the team, being in the weight room, watching these guys, and there's a word that we use, and that's grind. And the thing about these kids here, and with Kaylin and Caden, and we got KJ in the back sitting in a luxurious chair.
Mm-hmm. The Zoe Whitmire.
The thing that these guys do, and they enjoy doing, is grinding, getting in the weight room and grinding. And the thing about it is, if you can learn to grind and enjoy it, you're going to make it in life, because life is never going to be easy. I don't care who you are. And if you can grind, then you're going to be successful. And I enjoy watching these guys grind. I enjoy watching them in the weight room, and really enjoy watching them on Friday nights go out. And I will say this much, and if Galion's listening, so be it. If Pleasant's listening, and Western Reserve, I don't care what they think. But the Wynford Royals have out-physicaled every team they've played. We didn't necessarily get the most points on the board through the game, but I will say this much. When all three of those teams walked off the field, none of those kids had smiles on their faces. They knew they had been in a trench warfare, and they were beaten, and they were bruised, and they were tired. And I will say this much. I saw the Galion Tigers walk off the field, and there wasn't a smile on a single one of those kids' faces, because they knew they had just fought a heavyweight fight 15 rounds. And these teams have 40, 50, 60 kids, and we got, 34?
Well, I mean, it's getting lowered by the day due to injuries and whatnot. Right. So it's getting lower.
Right.
But the fact is that they're tough is a true testament to what you're trying to teach them.
Yeah.
They're obviously following. I mean, I'm just going to say it. Most high school kids aren't really that tough. Mm-hmm. It's something they have to learn to be. Physically and mentally. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
And especially, I don't want to talk, but in this day and age, kids, like I said, have a lot of different things they could go do. It's really easy to go play video games or, play on your phone or do something else. It's hard to go out and lift and run and practice football.
I've always been taught, don't lower the expectation. It doesn't matter. Never lower it. That's one thing I learned at Findlay. You know, we didn't always have the best athletes. When you would play Grand Valley State, Ferris State, well, majority of the time they had better athletes than us, right? But we always took pride in being physical and just grinding, you know, and I want to take that to the next level at Wynford and do that for the Royals.
Now, how is it coaching your little brother? Because I'm looking over there at those bruises on his arms, and I'm wondering, is that like from football practice, or is that from Big Brother getting after him after?
No, you know, Kalen's done a good job up front. You know, he's been kind of special around the program for, you know, the past 3 years. You know, he's done some awesome things. I think if you turn the highlight tape on, you could see that. You know, I think it's fun coaching my little bro, mainly because I can be real hard on him. You know, because what are you gonna do? Go home and cry to mom? You know, so you know,
He does.
yeah, exactly. So I can make him better. You know, make him into a better football player, and a better person overall.
Well, the one thing that I will say Coach Skidmore does is he develops people into men, and it's a program. Like I said, I've had the privilege to watch the process, and it's not just about football. It's about building young men of character and to be able to create people who can get out of Wynford High School and be able to persevere through the good times, through the tough times, and be able to compete, whether it's going to be on the football field, in the classroom, or in the business world somewhere down the road. And, you know, I enjoyed watching these guys play, and one of the highlights for me is watching the Bucyrus game last year. Bucyrus scores, they're up 7-0. They're about to score again. Their quarterback's going to run in a touchdown, which may have put us in a really bad spot. And Kalen, you want to tell us what happened?
Decapitated him.
No, he came in. Relax there, Chief. He came in, put his helmet on the ball popped out, and we get the ball back because it went out of the end zone. So
Yeah.
that's exactly what happened.
Huge play.
So the guy didn't get the snap, is what you're saying, and he
was running. He's running. He's going to run it in, and Kalen puts his hat on the ball. Ball goes out, and the ball shoots through the end zone, and we end up saves a touchdown. Maybe saves the game. Maybe saves the game.
Yeah, it was a big part of the game right there. You know, it kind of turned.
That was the
things
turning
around.
point.
Yeah,
the turning point of the
absolutely.
game.
So we've already established the preseason, so to speak, before you get to the league. What are you expecting then from these guys as you march forward through the Northern 10?
Well, obviously, I think the goals are plain and simple. You know, win the intent. You know, that's not always going to be exact, but I look at it as, you know what, we played some really good teams non-league. You know, so I would hope that would prepare us to play the tough teams in our conference. You know, some of the teams that we played, you know, they would compete for the league title, you know, in our league. So hopefully, you know, that I know that's what the kids want, is to win the N10, you know, from here on out. Just focus on each week, you know, 1-0, right? Can't really focus on anything past that, you know. You got to focus on Carey right now. I can't focus on, you know, when we play Bucyrus or Crawford. We're focused on Carey.
You can't win the league unless you win
Exactly.
Friday night.
It's one game at a time.
Yep.
That's all we can do right now, and the kids know that now.
You know, a coach once told me, he said, look, we put in all the work, we put in all the practice, we're going to show up and play, we might as well win. If you're going to show up and play, you may as well win.
Absolutely.
So Carey presents a lot of problems.
Mm-hmm.
They've been very dynamic. Their running game has been stellar. Tell us a little bit about what you expect from what you've seen on film.
Yeah, I mean, Carey takes pride in being physical also, you know, just like us. They want to run the football, they want to get in their stack eye, and they just want to run it up and down that field, and they take pride in that, and they do a good job with that. You know, that's probably what they're best at, is running the football. Sometimes they'll get in the gun, they'll try to sling it around a little bit and run their quarterback. Their quarterbacks, I see they changed their quarterback around this past game. The new quarterback, saying he can run the ball a little bit. You know, he can move. He's side to side, speed's pretty explosive. Up front, Carey's been, I think, big for the past, I don't know how many years.
40.
Yeah,
40
they're
years.
big up front.
Yeah.
You know, and they're going to be physical. You know, and I've been telling this kid over here and that one sitting in the back, it's going to be a fist fight the whole game. You know, in the rules of football.
It's a heavyweight fight.
Absolutely.
And sometimes not within the rules of football when it comes to
Well,
playing
when you go to Carey, you never know what's going to
Carey.
happen.
Now, you said, you know, you guys have mentioned the numbers are down,
Mm-hmm.
okay? And I know you guys came from the start of flag football for the young kids,
Yep.
right? So what kind of numbers turned out tonight? And I mean, that's how you build a program, is those kids. So how do you go forward trying to get the numbers back up to where you can have 50, maybe even 60 kids on the sideline on Friday night?
Absolutely. You know, I think it starts with football equals fun, you know, at a young age, you know, and teach them some of the basics of the Wynford football program. Like today, they learned how to do Royal Jacks. You know, that's been a staple in the program for a long, long time, you know. So that was one of the first things they learned today was how to do the Royal Jacks. I thought that was awesome, hearing the kids do that. There was about 60 kids there. I thought the fifth grade came out. You know, there was about 21 kids that showed up out of fifth grade. So, you know, and I think having them understand that, you know, football is fun, it's going to go a long ways. You know, and seeing that when they play games, they can win. They're there with their bros, hanging out on the football field. I think that's going to want them to stick with it, you know, in the long run.
Yeah, you really got to start from the. I mean, from past experience, football's a grind. Okay, like you guys have said that, and it gets like those bruises on your brother's arms. They're not going to get better till basketball season. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because you're not going to stop hitting, right? I mean, it's just going to go. So once you get that in your head, that you can persevere, and it's kind of being hurt's a little bit fun, you know, and you know that goes a long way to getting the right mindset for these guys.
Absolutely.
So both you guys play defense, obviously. Both you play offense. So Kalen, you know, you've seen Carry on tape. You prepared to handle when they run straight at you.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then what you want to tell everybody what position you play?
Play D-line, D-end.
All right, so you play your defensive end.
Yeah.
All right.
Somewhat,
Yeah.
Somewhat.
Yeah, I mean, our defense, you got to line up a little different when you play the Carolina.
And Caden, you're middle linebacker. So if they're in a power, if they line up in a stack I, what are you going to see?
You got to be ready to stop the dive, coming straight up the middle, the ISO and the double ISO, and then stretch off the outside.
Absolutely.
All right, sounds like you guys are
He's
prepared.
coached up, man.
They're coached up.
He's coached up. He knows exactly what he's
He knows way too much.
Yeah.
He knows way too
And then we got KJ sitting in the back. KJ, where are you playing at on defense?
Nose tackle.
Nose tackle. All
That's
right.
the heart of the defense. He's the first guy.
He's
right
the
on top of
biggest
ball.
nose
Yep.
tackle I've ever seen.
Yep.
Biggest nose tackle.
So how many times, KJ, is Coach Amlin or somebody going to yell out, fire out low?
Oh, all the time. Every single play.
And how many times do you follow those instructions?
How many times do you say, I'm 6'8", how low can I get?
Yeah, they don't like excuses.
That is true. That is true.
He's been coached up.
No
He's
excuses.
been coached up.
No excuses.
So on offense, Kalen, what position do you play?
Quick guard.
Quick guard? Caden?
I'm our fullback.
Fullback? KJ?
I'm a tight end.
So what interesting things is Carey's defense going to do to try to stop our wing T offense?
I think they're gonna focus on like penetration. You know, with the defensive line, they're gonna slant, they're gonna angle, they're gonna try to cause a little chaos up front. You know, because they're gonna see our guards pull, and they're gonna try to come at us and limit how we can do certain things. I think that's one of the things that we've noticed is they're gonna try to cause a little chaos up front for us. And we got to be disciplined and know our rules. And we went over some things today. And we got to know our rules. And it shouldn't matter where they align or where they go. As long as we know our rules up front, we can take care of business.
So last year, one of the problems that we had was we just didn't have very many big plays. This year, we're seeing big plays. What can you tell us about some of the big plays that we've had this year?
I think that goes in with some of the speed training that we do. You know, our kids are explosive. You know, you look at Anthony Evans, how many big plays he had against Marion Pleasant. You know, he should have housed 3 dives that we ran. He should have. It is what it is. James,
I think James Wynford showed the Galion Tigers that he was the fastest guy on the field.
he was the fastest guy on the field. You know, and we do a lot of speed training in the off season. You know, and I think that shows, you know, here lately with how explosive we look on the football field.
So speaking of speed training, we're going to play a game. Is that what the producer's telling me? We're going to. Okay. So you guys got this whiteboard, these whiteboards, and this is not the newlywed game, but it's our version of the newlywed game. Does anybody remember the Newlywed Game but
These
me and
guys
you?
would not.
You guys remember the Newlywed Game? So we're going to ask questions. We're going to ask one at a time, right? Or we're going to ask all five?
Yeah,
one at a time? Because I'm not sure about these guys' writing ability. So we're going to ask a question. You guys are going to try to match Coach Skidmore's answer. Now, little brother, if you don't get these right, I'm going to be extremely disappointed. Okay. Number one, which player on the team would Coach be the most nervous to babysit their children? God, that's got to be the guy sitting behind me. That's my guess. Close in on
Now, are these answers limited to the three guys sitting at this table, or for anybody on the
anybody
team?
on the team. Anybody on the team.
Anybody on the team.
Okay.
Okay.
Not started.
So yeah, give us your answer.
Ashton.
Who?
Ashton.
Ashton.
Maddox Engler.
Ooh.
Those are all good.
Oh, Ashton. Ashton.
Oh, Ashton.
Those
Moore.
were really good, but I went with that one.
Oh.
Okay.
The Ashton one was really good. That was pretty. I would have went with that one second.
Poor Doug, whoever he is. Okay, so the second one. What mistake or miscue is Coach's biggest pet peeve?
Ooh.
Gosh, he can't even narrow it down. Look, he's thinking.
You notice that the players know exactly what it is.
Yeah, he doesn't. But
I don't know. I see a lot of things.
And now you've oh boy, he's erased it.
I don't know. Ain't no way he put this.
All right. That's
Everybody's
gotta be the one.
okay.
All right, Coach, tell us what it is, and we'll see if they get it right.
I always say it. Be a D-A-W-G. Being a dog. I always say that. Being a dog. I always say that.
Dog
mentality, there he
mentality.
is.
Okay. What do you guys got?
Okay,
We're
what do you-
saying pet peeves. Like what not to do. I said pre-snap penalties and excuses.
That's
There
probably
you
the smart answer.
KJ, what do you got?
I put pulling guards.
That's his biggest pet peeve is pulling guards.
No, because I guess I didn't pay attention.
Because he doesn't like to call plays with pulling guards. Okay.
Cage, you're a smart dude, man. I tell you that straight up.
All right, next question. Which well-known celebrity does Coach Skidmore most look like or thinks he does? And you cannot say Judge Luthold. Cannot say Judge Luthold.
He doesn't look anything like me.
Well, he might think he does, though.
I don't know who I look like.
But who do you think you look
Who do you
like?
think you look like?
Oh, gosh.
Oh, this might get bad.
Tom Cruise is spelled with two E's.
Okay.
All right, what do you think?
C-Bum. Chris Bumstead, Mr. Olympia.
I wish.
Who do you-
Said The Rock, because Coach thinks he's big.
I almost put that.
He
Oh
thinks
boy.
he's big.
What? Tom Hanks.
Hulk Hogan.
Hulk
Oh, my
Hogan.
gosh, Hulk
Oh
Hogan.
boy. Oh boy.
Brock Lesnar.
I almost put that, kid.
If Coach Skidmore is ordering Chipotle, is he going with chicken, steak, or carnitas? Carnitas.
Is it one or the other or both?
It's 50-50.
Which one? Which one? You got your answer on that? Okay.
I guess.
What do you got?
Chicken.
Chicken? Chicken? Chicken.
I did not spell carnitas.
Oh! This last one's an easy one. They're absolutely going to get right. There's no way they're not going to get this one right.
Do you want to ask it here? Let's see.
I really don't know what's
Sure. All right. True or false? If Coach Skidmore could suit up, he would gladly wear pads and start on the offensive line this Friday.
I mean, if they don't even know the answer to this, I mean, come on.
I don't have to write.
Everybody knows. There's no doubt.
It's supposed to be true or false, not yes or no, man.
It doesn't matter.
I mean, the instructions are
I got one last question for you guys.
Oh boy.
Because this is a real question that has something to do with life.
Ordering at Chipotle doesn't?
Yes.
Okay.
Zombie apocalypse breaks out. What 3 teammates do you want with you?
Ooh.
What 3 teammates do you
And
want
Coach
with
Skidmore could be one of them.
Am I writing this?
you? Yes.
Yeah. You bet. Who do you want to be?
Who do you
Trying
want
to
with
guess
you?
his answer now?
No, you guys just.
Yeah, we just want to see. We
want to see who it would be.
bonus points if anybody puts Coach Stover.
No, he's the last guy.
He's the last guy. No, he's not, because he's the guy that's going to get left behind.
That's true. You got running.
Yeah, you know, run Coach Stover.
Kaylin, you whipped
What
that
do
up
you
pretty
got?
easy.
Me, Coach, and Evan.
Evan.
It's Evan Wright.
Evan Wright.
Oh boy, some buddy of yours, right?
Yeah.
Skids.
Oh,
Bryce.
gosh.
Bryce Locker. Coach Skids.
Yeah, Bryce Locker's a dog.
Skidmore brothers.
Dude,
Cody
I put Cody Tyner. I was gonna.
There
I
it is,
put
Cody.
Caden, brains operation. Kalen, dog. Coden, I don't know what he is. but
He's a bad dog. That's what he is. Coach.
I want to go with him.
He knows how to deal with zombies
If he had,
or the apocalypse. either
So,
way.
all three of these guys have been standouts for you this year, Coach. But give us the names of some guys that have been standouts. We talked about James Renfus at receiver, who 3 touchdowns, 3 games in the first 2. I think the first 2 games, catching bombs from quarterback Ashton Warren. Who has stood out for you so far?
You just said it. Ashton Warren at the quarterback position. You know, when you're the quarterback of the offense, you got to be a leader. You know, and sometimes last year he had his ups and downs. You know, this year he just took the bull by the horns, man, and he just took it and he ran with it, and he's been tremendous for me. And just at the leadership role and running the whole offense, like sometimes when we line up wrong, he'll tell the kid, "Hey, you're lined up wrong." You know, last year Ashton he didn't know.
He's a coach on the field, finally.
And and he's done an awesome job with it. I'm super proud of that kid.
I have one question. How many times at halftime has your father-in-law met you into the locker room and you've taken any of his advice of changing tactics going into the second half?
That's easy. Answer
You could
0.
You can answer this. We're in a safe space here. You have no repercussions. We'll still babysit. Don't worry.
When we go up there at halftime, I don't pay attention to anyone. I'm laser focused in, and I know what needs to be done. We go up there as a coaching staff. We talk about it, and we come out ready to go.
But it has to be. It has to be. That's a great answer, by the way. But it has to be. I mean, I know how excited and how into it he is, and he is a great X's and O's student.
Yeah.
Even football. I mean, he's great coaching basketball and stuff. So I'm sure it's kind of nice to have somebody that you can bounce, get some ideas from.
I'll tell you what, he understands kids very well, and he knows how to coach kids, and he does a great job with that. You know.
What kid off this team may end up seeing Judge Luthold? No, I'm not going to make you. I'm not going to make you answer that question.
None.
Hopefully none.
No,
Yes,
I
hopefully
think
none.
I think that I'm a huge fan of the Wynford Royals football program. These guys know that, and I'm on the sidelines cheering them on, but I'm letting Cyle and Coach Amlin coach, and I'm not going to stick my nose in that. Now after the games, you want to talk about about things, I'm all ears, and I'll put my 2 cents in. But I think understanding sport, understanding student mentality. It took me a long time and a lot of life experience to get to where I understand what makes kids tick and what's motivates them and what drives them. So I'll give him that kind of advice. But he's the brains behind the operation. I'm here for moral support, and I love going to the games, and I love seeing these kids battle. And at the end of the game, everybody wants to go ring the bell, but just having the privilege of putting on that uniform and going out and playing a sport that is very few people have the privilege to get to do that. Win or lose, it's still an amazing experience, and love watching you guys play.
Yeah. Really means something to be a Royal. So,
Absolutely.
Really means something to be a Royal.
Got some highlights up there.
Oh, just fill the time. Close it out, boys.
All right. Well, hey, we want to thank the volleyball team that's still here. We want to thank the football guys for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
Good luck the rest of the season. Go be Carey.
Absolutely.
Okay,
That
go
is
be
the goal.
Carey.
Go be Carey.
Go be Carey and take care of the rest of the, rest of the Northern 10. All right.
Absolutely.
Go Royals.
Go Royals.
Appreciate it.